Zambia, local volunteers travel on canoes just to distribute supplies to flood-affected residents. In Zhonghe District, Tzu Chi volunteers assist a senior with mobility issues in cleaning his living environment. Selamat datang ke DaAi Headlines, saya Simon Gan. Terima kasih menyertai sesi berita kita. In Zambia, droughts have caused a shortage of food for the locals back in 2019. This year, heavy rains have caused the area to be flooded, destroying all the crops. Volunteers in Africa were unable to travel across countries due to the pandemic. Therefore, local volunteers have stepped up and carried out the distribution works. Climate changes around the world have been very drastic. 2 years ago in Zambia, due to the long-term drought, their harvest was really poor and the locals were facing food shortage.
This is sweet potatoes. So we planted it on December. So because of no rain, it died. So no food. We have no food. No food.
This year, due to heavy rains, the Zambezi River overflowed, flooding all the nearby farmlands. This is Lielui village, which is located in the west town of Mongu. The heavy rains have caused floods, and the local residents do not have any food supplies. Local volunteers immediately brought corn flour to take care of them. Volunteers rented a truck and brought 50 bags of corn flour to Lielui village. As the flood waters have now receded, they could only rely on the canoes of the locals to send the supplies to the villagers. As the local residents are rowing the canoes, what seems like to be a lake is actually their farmlands. The paddy are floating like watergrass, and all their hard work have been diminished. After rowing for 30 minutes, they finally arrive at Lielui village. The local residents form a human transporting line to unload the bags of corn flour. Next, volunteers held a simple ceremony, handing over the corn flours to the hands of the local villagers with much respect. When the distribution was over, it was dusk, and it started to rain again. However, the villagers' mood is just like their singing and dancing, full of hope and joy. In China's Jiangsu province, Tzu Chi initiated the book-giving event at the Zhengxin Primary School. A total of 36 students received bags filled with books, hoping to develop good reading habits.
真心小学有36个种子，成为整个600多个学生，今后都养成良好的阅读的习惯。
I'm grateful to see this many Tzu Chi volunteers here holding a book-giving event at our primary school.
36 students receiving book bags, each containing 8 books, hoping to dive into the world of knowledge.
Every child, after finishing a book, their parents will take a photo of them with the book, then upload the photo to our group.
Through the book-giving event, we hope to bring good ideas to children, teaching them how to help others and feel grateful.
There are a lot of Tzu Chi volunteers who want to bring love to these children. Through these events, they contained the sincerity in these book bags.
We hope that through this event we can educate children and bring hope to worker students during the process of reading.
The sea of knowledge in each book broadens one's horizon. By giving them books, volunteers hope to see children enjoy book reading.
In Hualien, a student from the Tzu Chi University of Science and Technology, He Qianghao, is from Indonesia. He accepted a scholarship plan from Selamat's group and came over to TCUST to study in the field of agriculture. Let's take a look.
I 是何江豪，我来自印尼的Jogja。Jogja
Yogyakarta is a very famous tourist spot in Indonesia and has kept many of Indonesia's ancient traditions. It also has a very prolific university.
拥有历史悠久的大学。
Dari Indonesia ya?
Iya, ini mau belanja barang Indonesia.
Oke, silakan.
我的家庭有爸爸妈妈跟一个弟弟。
In my family, I have a father, a mother, and a young brother. My parents work at a traditional market, running a grocery store, selling basic daily necessities. Though the income is modest, sometimes it's unstable. Seeing my parents' tough work, therefore I studied very hard and was accepted to the best Indonesian university, Jenderal Sudirman University.
考上了印尼最好的大学——国立印尼大学。对我的父母来说，在雅加达的生活费用很高。
To my parents, they think that the cost of living in Jakarta is high, which is a burden to them. It just happened that my mother saw a scholarship collaboration plan between Selamat's group and TCUST, waiving the tuition and providing living expenses. Thus, I decided to come to Taiwan to study.
补助我的生活的费用，因此我决定来台湾读书。
Indonesia is an agricultural country with 45 million people in the industry of agriculture. So Indonesians must learn how to further the efficiency in farming. We hope to learn from Taiwan, and it is expected that when He Qianghao returns to Indonesia, he is able to bring more productivity to our team.
想法，把我们的管理团队呢能够提高效益。
在学校的话。 培养了良好的生活习惯。
At school, I developed good habits like time management and manners in life. At my department, I took management and digital marketing.
的话，我们学到了管理课，还有数位行销。1、2、3，加油！
那看强豪个子小小的。
Don't be fooled by his appearance. When we start farmland or spray pesticide or carry heavy items, he will be the first to demonstrate the know-how. I think he's a very active and eager student.
主动积极的学生。
因为学到了。
Selamat's group appointed me to take agricultural courses. Therefore, I learned a lot regarding farming. I hope that when I return to Indonesia, I can improve farmers' lives.
改善农夫的生活。
他那时候就跟我聊到说，他未来的人生的规划。
When he talked to me about future career plans, he hoped to study at the Economic Research Institute because he is highly interested in economics. So during his freshman and sophomore summers, he searched for the prerequisites for economics. Then he took online classes, taking calculus. I'm very moved because he is very clear on what he is doing and that he is preparing himself for the future.
I'm grateful to Selamat's group and TCUST. Because of the scholarship program, I've learned many things in Taiwan. I hope that in the future I can help improve Indonesia's agricultural industry.
印尼的农业更有竞争力。
In Taiwan, 75-year-old Tzu Chi volunteer Wu Zhonghua has dedicated himself to Tzu Chi's work after retiring as a school director. Besides doing recycling, he also cares for the seniors. Take a look.
My father lived with his wife's family after marriage. In the past, men would do so because they're not financially well off. Under such circumstances, I thought I need to work hard.
Although his family faced financial difficulty, his teachers help him out.
Teacher Yang Huinan said that he would tutor me for free. I said yes. My grades were lagging behind in class. When I was in 5th grade, I was placed 3rd place. I accepted people's help, and today I have the ability and I want to pay back to society.
Filled with gratitude, he has also become a teacher. He has received help from many people and even been given a teacher's award. After he retired from the position of a director from tutoring school, he dedicates himself to Tzu Chi. He even learned to ride tricycle.
我知呀。刚刚开始的时候会比较不稳，现在已经稳了。
He protects the environment at the recycling station and takes action to remove garbage near his house. His vitality has influenced people around him.
Nothing is important. Good health is the most important. Leading others to sing, I have also learned much. So I feel even happier and more willing to give of myself. Many Tzu Chi volunteers worked till they took their last breath. That is the meaning of life.
As a retired teacher, he is leading a fulfilling life, benefiting the public and practicing Buddhist Dharma.
With Brother Wu's love and care, I have improved a lot.
In Kaohsiung, the online study group celebrated its 8th anniversary. They have even established an English interpretation team to overcome the language barrier, spreading the master's teachings to more people in the world.
Another lively and fulfilling Kaohsiung online study group. Not only is the live stream venue filled with people, there are also English interpreters translating the event in real time.
The online study group is 8 years old. It's not easy.
For this event, with Australian volunteers translating, volunteers from different countries, including from Thailand, participated in sharing their experiences.
I think that it is also a form of filial piety to use the body that our parents gave us to do good deeds.
Thanks to the internet, volunteers in different countries can overcome the time zones and distance. Not even the time differences can be an obstacle to participating. Although it might be 2 a.m. in the morning in the United Kingdom, the volunteers still joined live stream in real time.
Because of the pandemic, everyone is staying at home, and it is easy to feel lonely. But thanks to the live stream, it's like being together with everyone else, not just being alone at home.
Tzu Chi volunteers from Beijing traveled especially to Kaohsiung to celebrate the occasion.
The most important anniversary gift is the love and blessing from our volunteers, so of course we want to come in person to deliver the blessings.
8 years ago, it was a moment of expectation that set into motion the online study group.
Tzu Chi Foundation came up with the idea to try to organize an online study group, so I went to find some sayings from Master Zheng Yan. There is a teaching from Master that says the deeds of a group can be perpetual. The deeds of one person are subject to impermanence.
Including classes, activities, live stream and translation, volunteers from around the world have formed teams to facilitate the online study group. Not only can the footage be live streamed, it can also be replayed, extending the impact of the study group using internet technology and cultivating the minds of participants around the world.
In New Taipei City's Zhonghe District, 81-year-old Mr. Wu lives alone since his wife and daughter passed away and his son works in China. Items piled up in his house became more and more as Tzu Chi volunteers were mobilized to help clean up.
Although some parts of the house are clean, the rest remain messy.
Because he lives alone and he wants to clean before the new year. After the pandemic slowed, we came here to help him clean.
In the living room, Mr. Wu receives a haircut from Tzu Chi volunteers. As Mr. Wu's son works in China, and because his wife and daughter passed away, he often organizes items at his home. Due to movement difficulties, he requested Tzu Chi's assistance. As the mission to bring care started, volunteers cleaned each room thoroughly. The half-damaged ceiling was also checked and repaired, improving living safety.
In Zhonghe District, New Taipei City, there is an elderly woman, Mrs. Liu, whose son passed away 7 years ago. She's left with a daughter-in-law, who is a new immigrant from Vietnam, and 2 granddaughters. Mrs. Liu treats her daughter-in-law like her own daughter and takes care of all the household chores. Captured in the family portrait, Mrs. Liu's son has passed away 7 years ago.
When he passed away, the youngest child was only in 3rd grade. On the day my son passed away, my daughter-in-law cried and asked me, "Mom, what should I do?" I said, "Don't be afraid, I'll give you support. Children will grow up, do not worry."
Being a mother makes you strong. Mrs. Liu not only supports her daughter-in-law, she has also turned sorrow into responsibilities.
My daughter-in-law is just like my daughter. She has immigrated from Vietnam. I must take care of her. Since my son has passed away, I'll take care of my granddaughters and daughter-in-law in my son's place. I must do it.
Mrs. Liu's heart goes out to her daughter-in-law, who works in the porcelain factory, so she takes care of all the household chores.
I said I'll spend less money, do not work overtime, as it might take a toll on your health.
Extending her love for her son, Mrs. Liu, who has been a Tzu Chi donating member, protects her children to stay strong.
In the beginning, I thought that it was the end of my life. I was different from other children and I felt hopeless. However, I have mother, grandmother, and younger sister, so I think that I was able to become optimistic because of that. Although I did not say it out there that I loved them, but in my heart I loved them very much.
I love my mother-in-law, but I do not have a chance to say, "Mom, I love you." I did not say that, but I feel that my mother-in-law like my mother.
In Taiwan, Northern District Terima members have gone to Sanzhi and Shimen to provide house calls to solitary seniors. The doctors and medical volunteers have brought much needed love and care to the seniors.
After the Lunar New Year, Northern District Terima members provide house calls in Sanzhi and Shimen for the first time. They're divided into 7 routes. Mr. Lu and his mother suffer from poor health, and Chinese medicine doctors perform acupuncture on them.
You have suffered a stroke and your blood vessels are clogged. You can adopt a vegetarian diet and eat more vegetables. Even 1 meal a day would be good. Your blood flow will be clearer.
Mr. Zhao, who had an auto accident, has his left leg amputated. Chinese medicine doctor Cho Wei-yuan relieves his discomfort with acupuncture.
This part, right? After applying acupuncture, the qi is flowing. After I pull the needles, you'll feel more relaxed.
Among the medical volunteers are some young faces. They're medical students. They've joined the medical team service hoping to learn more experiences.
I major in elderly care and I also enjoy interacting with seniors. Therefore, I decided to join the free clinic. Not only do we care for them, we also learn to find solutions for their problems. Terima doctors treat these seniors like their own family members, and they have earned seniors' trust. This is a great feeling.
Terima doctors and medical volunteers provide a much-needed medical care to seniors in remote regions and vow to safeguard their health.
Previously, we've learned about the AntiSoil Tunnel, which is being constructed at the Shimen Reservoir. Today, we take a look at the construction process and the difficulties they face while building the tunnel. The water outlet has been affected by the local geology. These rocks here are loose and it is younger in age.
Into the darkness, though it is safe under company, construction staff said that things could get bad easily. Water leaks in the tunnel and the almost collapsing rock formations. These are caveats to the dangerous nature of the tunnel.
Like in 2019, our progress was about 44 meters per month.
We are at Amuping AntiSoil Tunnel. As you can see, the ground is very muddy, and since the geology here is quite young, Explosive cannot be used. Machinery is used to push forward bit by bit, increasing the difficulty of the construction.
Amuping AntiSoil Tunnel utilizes mud transporting tubes to gather silt from rivers, then using floods to flush away the silt, achieving the purpose of reducing silt in Shimen Reservoir. Constructions like this is a nationwide first, and the complicated geology also made things more complicated.
The tunnel started from this layer, so we have to go through each part layer by layer. This is quite rare.
From the model, we can clearly see that the mountains are formed by layers compressing with each other. Through time, orogenic movement had caused differently aged rock formations to rise towards the surface level, and during construction, it became a challenge to workers.
When we first investigated, we discovered an old coal pit, which includes a coal layer and a pit potentially causing gas leaks. But this layer also connects with a fault zone, so our construction has to consider gas leaks, water leaks, and the fault zone issue.
Complicated geology isn't the main issue, since the rock formations further into the tunnel include sandstone, 40% of the entire layer.
This is hard. I can break it with my bare hands. This means that it's easy to dig through, but it also means that the tunnel can collapse easily.
Rocks from the tunnel can be broken down easily, so how does one guarantee the safety and timings of the construction? Let us head back into the construction site. In the tunnel, a trestle bridge appears, providing transportation utility to vehicles while below. Construction workers fasten their pace on rebar tightening and grouting. With the bridge, workers can work on stabilizing the tunnel and further the digging process.
We keep an area undug so that it holds the pressure from nearby layers, and when we build a supporting object, we will dig and fix the layers below.
Due to soft rock formations, each dig into the tunnel requires immediate support. Due to this, workers have to be alert 24/7. A perfect project requires better crew management, therefore technology comes into play.
We can see the IC chip, and about sensors, when one enters the tunnel, the chip will let us know where the person is in the cave.
The traditional method is to flip the name tags before entering the workspace, but this method fails to provide locations. Now with IoT, a chip installed on a helmet, and along with the fingerprint recognition, workers can be located inside the tunnel through Bluetooth.
首先，它先做识别，识别可以用脸部辨识，或者是用指纹。指纹辨识到的话，它就在荧幕上会显示哦，这个刘某某哦，他已经进入了。接下来，它就要进行我们作业前的检测。
Amuping AntiSoil Tunnel holds great responsibility in bringing water to citizens. During the renovation process, it became a great milestone in Taiwan's hydraulic engineering field.
Members of the Tzu Chi U.S. Humanitarian Education team held an online meeting with teachers from Tzu Chi Almanaha High School, hoping to spread the education on the right conduct to the Syrian refugee children. We'll leave you with these images. Thank you and goodbye.